can open your eyes now. Dark, isn't it? So anyway, I have to tell you, we've got 4 acts in the second half. We're going to bring them out for you. Again, 4 more lovely people who've given up their time to come out here and to entertain you and to make you laugh. So again, you're all looped up now, okay? You've had a few beers, a couple of Prosecco's. My sister's had 27 bottles since Monday. So what we're going to do is we're going to invite the first act out here, and you are going to go crazy, okay? I want you to go crazy. Can you do that? Well done, thank you. See, 1 of you out of 350 people. Let's try that again. Come on, put your hands together, make some noise. Please welcome to the stage, Sally Firth.
Hello everyone, it's so lovely to see you all, though you probably weren't expecting to see me. I'm usually cage fighting on Fridays. Some of you, though, may know me as the Kilburn Killer. I don't actually live in Kilburn, obviously, but I have killed a number of people from Kilburn. But that's all behind me now. I've paid my debt to society, and these days my idea of excitement is eating my toast with the butter side down. I've been looking for a new hobby since the Samaritans asked me to leave. And my caseworker suggested I try stand-up comedy. So first I need to tell you about myself. As Des said, my name's Sally, and I've been married to Roger for 28 years. He waited for me. Now, Roger was a bit of a late starter, sexually. He had terrible acne when he was a teenager, you see, and I think it sapped his confidence. Eventually his mother took him to the doctor, who prescribed these fantastic tablets, and they cleared Roger's skin up, just in time for him to go to Ibiza on an 1830 holiday with his friends, and I gather that he made up for lost time. Try again. But then he had to visit another doctor when he got back. I was a late starter too. I was 20. But that's because I wanted the first one to be special. And he was. He had special requirements. He could only become aroused if I covered him in baby oil while he was watching videos of Only Fools and Horses. Then he asked me to dress up as Trigger and to call him Dave. My next boyfriend was a masochist, and he begged me to hurt him. So I slept with his best friend. He wasn't laughing. No, he told me that wasn't what he meant, so I had to think of something else. I waited till he'd videoed the whole of the Japanese Grand Prix, and then just as he sat down to watch it from the beginning, I told him who'd won. I think another reason I didn't have sex when I was a teenager is because my mother said to me, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and I'm not good in the kitchen. Eventually I found out if you go down about 6 inches, it's a lot quicker, more effective, and you don't have to stand up for so long. Another thing my mum used to say, if she saw an ugly person walking down the road, was, well, he can't help what he looks like, but he could stay indoors. She said that when she first saw Roger. But I wasn't put off. Within weeks of our meeting, we moved in together, and we were doing the things that married people do. Having sex when only one person wants it. Not having sex because the other person doesn't want it. And lying together, silently, side by side in the darkness, after sex, which neither of us wanted, but both of us thought the other one did. laugh of recognition there, clearly. To be honest, I can't remember the last time I did it with Roger. It was so boring. I slept the whole way through. Well, that's not actually true. I woke up just in time for the Love Island finale. Because you've got to see that live, haven't you? You don't actually plan not to have sex. It sort of creeps up on you. It's a bit like buying some food you've got every intention of eating, and then 6 months later you find it at the back of the fridge or the cupboard. It's past its sell-by date. You don't fancy it anymore, and you can't even remember why you bought it in the first place. I've been thinking, and I've decided I'd rather read a good book than have bad sex. Though I can do both at once. That's because I've got a Kindle. Now look, I know, and some of you might know, when you've been with the same person for a while, things can get a little stale, can't they, in the sex department. I'm aware of that. But I was still quite upset when Roger said to me recently, "You are so predictable. Why don't you ever surprise me? Dress up or something." So the next day, when he got home from work, I did surprise him. I was wearing his mother's clothes. He wasn't laughing. I always thought he wanted me to be more like her, you see, but it didn't go down well. I think it was too soon after the funeral. Now, if I'd known Roger had a heart condition, I would probably have done it sooner. But the ambulance men were amazing. You know, I take my hat off to them. It was Roger's mother's hat, obviously. Some of you might think that was unkind, but Roger's been doing a number of things recently that really irritate me, like waking up. Having said that, when he's asleep, his snoring keeps me awake. And I was thinking about buying an anti-snore pillow, but then I realised something. Every pillow's an anti-snore pillow. You put it on someone's face. A few days later, I had a surprise. I was in the supermarket and I needed the loo. And you know what? They've got a condom machine in the ladies at Tesco. I know you're surprised. You all thought I shopped at Waitrose, didn't you? As I get older, I find making decisions get harder for me. Each day I have to decide, what shall I wear? What shall I cook for dinner tonight? Which of Roger's friends shall I sleep with? You're right, I'm joking. He hasn't got any friends. Now, I've got some lovely friends. When we were younger, we'd liken ourselves to the girls in Sex and the City. These days, sadly, it's more like celibacy in the suburbs. Though one of my friends is getting more action than she can handle, but that's because her husband's waiting for a prostate operation, and he thinks his equipment won't work afterwards, and he won't leave her alone. She's done everything she can to put him off, you know, big knickers, grey bras, and as a last resort, ankle socks, topped off with a gimp mask. But that only seemed to inflame him further. Now, I do my best not to overstimulate Roger, and at that end I only ever serve decaffeinated coffee in the evenings as a precaution, but if I really want to dampen his ardour, I replace his Viagra with laxatives. Now, I had a bit of catching up to do when I came out, you know. For instance, when I first heard the expression BJ, I thought it meant Boris Johnson. Now, I'm wiser now, but no happier. I'm not too keen on the BJ, but Roger is, so I will oblige occasionally, because I find afterwards he's much more willing to clean the oven. Little tip for you there, girls. Oh, and while we're on the subject of tips, don't get your hysterectomy on Groupon. I went for voucher. I've got a friend, Angela. She's divorced, sadly. She hasn't got anyone to clean her oven. But she has found a most marvellous app that helps her meet suitable men. It's called Check a Trade. So in the last 6 months, she's had a whole house rewired. As she was going out with an electrician, had her brickwork repointed when her boyfriend was a builder, and at the moment she's being serviced. Her car's being serviced because her present partner's a mechanic. She slipped up though when she slept with a carpenter. He left without even putting up a shelf, though he had filled in a few holes. And now it's time for me to leave. I'm on a curfew, and if I stay too long, my tag's going to go off. And also, oh my goodness, yes, it's coming up to 10 o'clock. I think Roger's probably finished cleaning the oven by now. Thanks very much. My name's Sally Firth. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep that going. Sally Firth! I'll put it back in for you, don't you worry.